Please click on the thumbs up button and the subscribe button if you enjoyed my vlog. Bye for now.
Strawberries. Wow, and there's lots of them. Well, we're on the Transpennine Way, and that's the canal. You can just see at the bottom there. You can see it's not been anything done to it for years. And you've all to know that the canal's there at all at this stage. But further down I think it's used by fishermen, so it's open. But this is at the side of the road, which leads left of here goes to Hall Park. You remember yesterday's video, I did a sign for Hall Park, but coming from a completely different direction. So this is the start of the footpath leading towards Royston, and I think Royston's about 2.5 miles away from. Well, there's been a lot of rain, as you can see. A couple of weeks ago this footpath was hard dried because of the heat wave. Since I've last been on this site, there's been work undertaken there. I don't know if it's a hen house or what it is, to tell you the truth, but there was nothing there last time I came, so it just shows you that things are changing all the time. Anyway, I can hear a couple of birds on this walk. I couldn't hear any on the last one. These berries will soon be eaten up by fieldfare and redwing, and blackbirds as well. Some continental blackbirds. So here we have apple tree at the side of the canal. I'll show you the canal in a second, but I wonder if that was put in on purpose, or if there was a seed stratified by birds years and years ago, or if a bargee had thrown out an apple and it had set on its own. All these questions you can answer yourselves, but I'll try and find out at some point. Well, here's the canal. You can see it's full of duckweed here at the moment, bulrush, and again you can see it's not been touched for years. Well, like yesterday's video, you can see this particular walkway is shrouded by trees growing over the top and causing a nice canopy for walking, and it does get very hot down this particular walk, so these are a welcome. These are very welcome when you're walking. Do you remember on yesterday's video I told you about silver birch and the birch being very combustible? Well, it looks to me as though the tree outgrows the outside bark and then reforms itself. Now, I could be wrong about that, but you know, like a snake sheds its skin, this is what it looks like to me about the silver birch. Once again, this tree is ideal for tree creepers. There'll be things underneath those bits of bark that'll be ideal for lots of birds actually, particularly if it's blue tits and great tits, if it's a harsh winter. Now, here's a good indicator that this canal's not been used for a long time. What you've got here is a tree that's grown and matured and then fallen again, and it's been left to the cycle to die, and something else will grow in its place, no doubt, but if this site had been used on a regular basis, that would have been cut away by now. Now, last video I did, I walked from the left to the right, and on this occasion I'm going to have to walk, from the right to the left. On this occasion I'm going to have to walk from the left to the right to see what's around the corner. There might not be anything, but I'll show you what I mean. Now, let's have a little look. See how far I can go. Maybe a little bit more. And that's my limit. So you can just about see around the corner at that one. But once again, like yesterday, there's nothing there. Really need to come out first thing first. Well, you wouldn't think anything would want to be on this particular stretch of water, but look at this, mallards. So there you go. This footpath would have originally been for horses to walk on, and they would have pulled the barges. Now, I've got no signs of rope mooring on this section, but we have on other sections. Well, it's still very windy, as you can see on the trees there, but we are sheltered. So it's quite quiet. There is a robin calling. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. So you see, robins are not just around gardens, as some people think. I'm just swinging around because the bird calls are on my left. I can't see anything. Sorry about that. I can hear a jay calling as well as the robins. Can't see the robin, of course, still too many leaves on the tree. Some robins are very curious and they come to see who's walking about, you know. You can tell that by when you're gardening. They come and have a look at you. Now, I don't know if the camera is picking the light up properly, but it's particularly beautiful here with the sun cascading through these trees. Really lovely. And that's where we've come from. There's been one or two walkers going past, so I've shut the camera off as a matter of courtesy. Always be courteous when you're out in the countryside. Now, this is a wonderful roosting place for tawny owls, and it's right at the side of the footpath. Well, I should have said that today is the 6th of October 2025, of course, but we've had lots of cyclist passes on this route, and we've also had a vlogger on a e-bike passes. So vlogging on e-bikes seems to be becoming more and more popular. Personally, I will still try and do things on foot to try and keep my weight down a bit, keep fit as well. But as I've said before, I recommend that if you not walk for a long time, take short walks to start, build up your stamina, and then let your walks get longer, preferably with some company. You can see the countryside's beautiful around here. We've crossed the road now from the canal, and we're going to go down that footpath. Sorry about that, we're on a very fast road, Actually they're speeding more than they should be. I don't want to film that, of course. Well, this is something I hoped I would never see. People have brought the dogs on site. They've picked up the dog litter and they've left the bags behind. You know, why not take the bags home with them? Or if the dog's fouled and they kick the excrement to one side, it's certainly better than leaving it there like that. The thing is that it's there's flies coming off it and it smells awful. Well, I hope it's not a bitter winter, because most of the blackberries I can see here have gone black. They've been untouched, and there's going to be nothing to sustain birds through the winter like there used to be. So it's important to put stuff out in the garden, feed, and we're very lucky at the moment. Actually, we're getting goldfinch in good numbers. So here's a better shot to what I mean. They're all dead now. Not too far away. Oh, hope you can hear me. It's very windy here, but today we're on the Coldingley site, lake. And if you remember, I mentioned it yesterday when we were at Winterset. Winterset is just over that embankment right at the far end of the lake. There. So it's quite a considerable lake. And one of these, now I'm not quite sure which way around now. I thought Winterset was built first and Coldingley was built afterwards. But one of them was built for the canal feed, water feed, and then when subsidence occurred, they had another one built, and I suspect this one was built secondary. But you can see there's two swans on, but nothing else. Nice to see this year's birds on, by the way. Not got fully fledged yet by their coloration, so I'm reckoning they were born this year, hatched this year, might be a better word. Lovely to see. What I forgot to mention was that the water levels are back to normal on this lake. They're quite dry, of course, in the summer, down by about 2 meters, I think. So there's a couple of great crested grebe and a couple of coot in this corner, and it's fairly sheltered actually. I should have thought there'd have been more birds, but it's a great area, this one, for fishing. I've seen people fishing all night here. Well, we're crossing a bridge to look at the water outflow, which is quite strong. And on this bridge there's hundreds of ladybirds. Hundreds. Unfortunately, I can't pick them out for you. But there is lots and lots. Native ones too. Here's one, I don't know how many spots it has, but there's there you are, you can see 2 or 3 there. And there's the other one with a black on it somewhere. There. We've got various colours, we've got an orange one there, one we know has got anti-tar, black ones, and different spot numbers. So yes, it's the water flow's back to normal, coming across this water outflow. It sounds nice. Just have a listen to it. There's not many ladybirds. They're flying around us, and they're having to flip them away like you would. So yesterday we came to this walk in a different direction, and if you remember I filmed a sign saying Hall Park Wood or Hall Park. Well, we're in Hall Park now, and we've just come from the Colleen area, and you can walk along there right up to the canal we've just passed earlier. So that's a better view of the Great Crested Grebe. It's right at the end of my zoom. You can see it's in winter colours, and it'll soon, not long actually, before it starts getting into plumage colours for mating. And if you've ever seen these do their dance, so it's absolutely incredible when they're mating. They copy one another and offer one another presents. Really worth coming to see.